In 1803, Thomas Jefferson bought the Louisiana Territory from the French and their leader Napoleon. This purchase nearly doubled the size of the United States westward. At 3 cents an acre, what was $15 million or $283 million in today's money, the purchase added 14 states: Arkansas, Colorado, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, New Mexico, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Texas, and Wyoming. As with many Americans, Jefferson was curious about the new chunk of land he had just bought. Because of this, he sent his right-hand man, Meriwether Lewis, and his friend William Clark to go on an expedition to the west. The expedition was called the Corps of Discovery. With them, they had many things like trumpets, 1,000 pounds of pork, 30 pounds of salt, 15 rifles, 15 powder kegs, and 500 pounds of bullets. They also had Clark's slave York, 30 soldiers, and Lewis's dog Seaman. The expedition had just set out from St. Louis on May 25, 1803.
The Lewis and Clark expedition paddled its way down the Ohio River as it prepared the expedition to be launched officially from Camp Wood, just outside St. Louis, in the summer of 1804. That summer and fall, the company of explorers paddled and pulled themselves upstream, northwest on the Missouri River, where the Corps of Discovery set up camp, wintered, and prepared for the journey to the Pacific. In the winter before Lewis and Clark set out, they camped across the Mississippi River from St. Louis. They spent the entire winter chopping down trees and hunting animals. They needed immense log yards like these in order to have enough wood to build canoes, build huts, and even
Lewis
have enough
and
firewood.
Clark were worried about the Sioux Indians that they had heard so much about. This vicious tribe could either help them or kill them. Luckily, the Corps of Discovery made peace and they were on their way again. The Americans quickly continued westward, upriver, and camped for the winter in the Mandan Nation's territory. In the winter of 1804 and 1805, the party built Fort Mandan, near present-day Washburn, North Dakota. After the expedition had set up camp, nearby Indians came to visit in fair numbers, some staying all night. Then the Corps of Discovery met Sacagawea, a 14-year-old Shoshone woman. She knew the area very well and guided Lewis and Clark.
After many days, the Corps of Discovery had passed the Continental Divide, the Rocky Mountains. In canoes, they descended the mountains by the Clearwater River, the Snake River, and the Columbia River, past Celio Falls, and past what is now Portland, Oregon, at the meeting of the Willamette and Columbia Rivers. During the Lewis and Clark expedition, Lewis, Clark, and their men had to cross streams smaller than this. Only the problem is, Lewis and Clark, they had giant wooden canoes. Then the Corps of Discovery ran into trouble. It was wintertime. Things were pretty harsh. The group practically ran out of food and provisions. The Corps of Discovery expedition, Lewis and Clark and their men faced harsh winters. When they ran out of food and provisions, they literally had to eat candles. Little Jean-Baptiste, Sacagawea's son, got frostbite, but luckily he survived. After a harsh winter of eating candles, getting frostbite, and not being able to go outside, the snow was starting to melt. Lewis and Clark rejoiced. Now they were underway again. Then they saw it, the Pacific Ocean. The Corps of Discovery had found it. However, they had confirmed that there was actually no Northwest Passage. The caravan had decided to go home. After nearly 2 years since they set out from St. Louis, and during that time they had discovered 122 new species of plants and 178 new species of animals, established friendly relations with the Indians of the region, and mapped out the Louisiana Territory. This is gonna work.
year before Lewis and Clark set out, they camped across the Mississippi River from the city of St. Louis. They spent the entire winter cutting down trees and hunting animals to supplement their food supply. They needed huge logging fields like this in order to have enough wood to make canoes, build houses, and even have fire. Oh, man.
Hey, Robert, your axe fell.
There's a nice swing right there. Base hit. Look at that downward motion. Mr. Kerr would be proud of me. Get out of my way.
During the Corps of Discovery expedition, they faced harsh winters. Sometimes, during the Lewis and Clark expedition, Lewis and Clark and their men had to cross streams.
David, I am wet.
During the Lewis and Clark expedition, Lewis and Clark and their men had to cross streams smaller than this. Why are you doing so fast? Look at the turn. Molly, go like this.